Okay, so good day everyone. So for today we're going to discuss the development on how to develop the most important part in education, the development of online assessment and rubrics, no. So developing online assessment and rubrics is a critical component of effective digital education. So enabling educators to evaluate student learning accurately and consistently. So online assessment vary widely from quizzes and assignments to complex projects allowing for diverse ways to measure student knowledge and skills. When creating this assessment, educators need to ensure they align with learning objectives and outcomes. Tandaan po natin yan, ano po? Because this alignment is essential because it provides clarity on what knowledge or skills are being evaluated, guiding students on what to focus on. Effective online assessment can include multiple choice question for quick knowledge check lang po 'yon. Meron po tayong open-ended question for deeper understanding or practical application in a real-world scenario. As essential part of online assessment development, in ensuring accessibility and fairness, online assessment need to consider diverse student needs, including different learning paces, potential disabilities, and access to technology. This means that assessment should be compatible with various devices, provide accommodations as needed, and be designed to minimize barriers. No? So to maintain fairness, we,
Multitasking lang ako, matindi ko na.
we as
Kasi,
educator, please
nagsusunod.
turn off. You must also consider ways to minimize academic dishonesty, such as randomizing cost questions or using time assessment. Fair and accessible assessment create an inclusive learning environment where every student has an equitable chance to demonstrate their abilities. And of course, to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter this evening. Go ahead, madam. Go ahead, Ma'am Annalyn.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, classmate. I'm Annalyn Bido Crusin. I will be the one to report the developing online assessment and rubrics po. Okay, first, what is online assessment? A digital testing method where students can take exam, quizzes, or assessment through an internet-connected device. This assessment measures student knowledge, skill, understanding of a particular subject. Online assessment is very relevant attributes using digital platform or software. This method has gained popularity across various domains, including education, recruitment, professional development, certification program. In the context of education, online assessment are utilized to measure students' understanding of course material, track their progress, and provide feedback. This assessment may take the form of quizzes, exam assignment, or interactive activities, and they are typically administered through learning management system or specialized assessment platforms. Ito po yung mga example po ng mga platforms. Ito yung Zoom po na ginagamit natin ngayon, ClassIn, Google Meet, at saka marami pa pong iba. Online assessment play a crucial role in evaluating students to their studies po. This assessment conducted remotely enables students to efficiently screen large volume of learners while minimizing logistical challenges and biases associated with in-person evaluation. Online assessment offers several advantages over traditional assessment methods. They provide flexibility in terms of timing and location, allowing individuals to complete assessment on their convenience. Moreover, online assessment can be easily standardized and customized to align with specific evaluation criteria ensuring consistency and in fairness in the assessment process. Additionally, digital assessment often generate immediate result, enabling prompt feedback in decision making. Ito po yung mga types of assessment. First po yung formative assessment, activities which provide information to be used as feedback to adapt the teaching to meet the needs of the students. Example po ng formative assessment, ito po yung peer assessment, polls, class discussion, and student reflection po. Interim assessment may be more formal and can occur throughout the semester. Ito po yung ginagawa natin like quiz, written essay, concept, periodical test po, at marami pa po. And last po yung summative assessment, activities to evaluate student learning at the end of the instructional unit or course. Ito po yung may preliminary, second at saka third po na tinatawag. Kumbaga, ito para ma-evaluate po yung mga natutunan ng estudyante within the period po na yun. Then, types of online assessment test po. First po yung skill-based test to evaluate student proficiency in specific activities related po sa skills. Depending on the rule po, skill-based test can cover a wide range of competencies such as technical skill, creative abilities, problem-solving capabilities, and industry-specific knowledge. Next, for example po neto, yung mga software developer may be required to complete coding challenges that assess their programming skills and problem-solving abilities po. Pumapasok din po dito yung mga graphic designer na nagki-create po ng iba't ibang design sample or iba't ibang design sample po. Next po yung cognitive ability test, also known as aptitude test, measure individuals of cognitive aptitude and potential for success in various tasks and rules po. This assessment evaluates student reasoning abilities, numerical aptitude, verbal comprehension, and logical thinking skill. Pang-third po yung personality assessment, aim to evaluate individuals' personality traits, preferences, and behavioral tendencies po. This assessment helps teachers assess a student fit with the organizational culture, team dynamics, or student activities po. Pang-apat po, behavioral assessment, focus on predicting how individuals are likely to behave in specific activity related in situation. Itong assessment po na ito, ini-evaluate po yung mga estudyante, yung ugali ng estudyante, ugali ng estudyante, kung such leadership potential, o paano po sila makisama, paano po sila makipag-teamwork sa kapwa nila estudyante as well as sa teacher po. Next po yung job knowledge test po, assess candidate understanding of specific job-related topics, concept, procedures, or regulation. Kaya po nang sinabi ko, ang online assessment, hindi lang po siya pang estudyante. Pwede, ginagamit na rin po siya sa mga employer-employee interaction po. Then, language proficiency test po. Evaluate candidate proficiency in one or more languages, assessing their reading, writing, listening, and speaking skill. And last po yung emotional intelligence assessment, measure individual emotional intelligence, including their self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, and empathy and interpersonal skills. Ito po yung benefits na online assessment. First po yung accessibility. Ay, tulad po na nangyayari ngayon, kahit hindi po tayo magkakasama sa isang classroom, sa isang lugar, nakakapag-aral po tayo, nakakapag-report, nakakapag-exam, nakakapag-quiz. Nagagawa po natin yung nagagawa po ng mga nag-face-to-face class using online platforms. Pangalawa po yung convenience. Kung kahit nasan po kayo, kung saan po kayo komportableng lugar mag-aral, very okay po ang online po. Online. Then, scalability scalability po, online assessment are highly scalable, making them suitable for organization or educational institution. Ito po yung tulad po sa WCC, ginagamit na po siya since na after effect po ng COVID. Isa po ang WCC sa gumagamit na po ng online po. Online classes po. Pwede po siya kahit gaano po karaming estudyante yung kailangan pong matuto o pumasok po sa klase na to. Then efficiency po, efficiency, reducing administrative overhead and resource requirement associated with traditional paper-based assessment. Dito po nababawasan na po yung paggamit natin ng mga papel kasi more on ano na po tayo nakasave na po sa Microsoft, sa Google, yung mga ganun po sa Google Drive, sa Google Forms na ganun na po siya. So nabawasan na po yung paggamit natin ng mga papel. Standardization. Online assessment facilitate standardization and consistency in evaluation process. Digital platforms enable the creation of standardized tests, format, instruction, and scrolling criteria, ensuring fairness and equity in assessment administration. Then, immediate feedback po, dito po yung pumapasok po yung agad-agad pwede tayong mabigyan ng feedback ng instructor natin, ng professor regarding our report, our quizzes, our exam po. Hindi po katulad sa traditional na medyo matatagalan pa kasi i-check pa niya po pa isa-isa yung mga paper na sinadmit po natin. Unlike po pag sa online, may mga formats na po kasi na ginagamit para mas mapadali yung pong pag-check like po ng Excel, mga ganyan po. Then data driving insights. Online assessment generate rich data insight that can inform decision making and drive improvements in educational or organizational outcome. Cost effectiveness can be more cost effective than traditional paper-based assignment, particularly for the organization and institution with large assignment needs. Ito po yung mas nakakatipid kasi hindi mo na kailangan magpa-xerox ng napakaraming papel para lang pong i-distribute sa mga estudyante. Dito po, isisend mo lang siya via email, Google, mababasa na po siya ng mga estudyante. Enhanced security, online assessment platform, open incorporate robust security features to ensure the integrity and validity of the assessment. So, dito po, protected naman po siya. Hindi naman po lahat makikita yung score ng bawat isa.
Mas gusto ko din.
Then last po yung adaptive testing. Some online assessment platform offer adaptive testing capabilities where the difficulty level and content of assessment adapt dynamically based on the participant responses. Uses of online assessment tool. For ito po yung sa educational assessment na ginagawa na po natin ngayon, then recruitment and selection, sa mga pwede po sa employer, pwede din po sa estudyante. Training and development, pwede din po sa mga estudyante, sa mga nagtatrabaho. Ito po yung pumapasok na yung mga ginagamit po yung Zoom para sa pag-attend ng mga training, seminars, kahit hindi na po umattend sa isang lugar. Certification and licensure, competency and assessment, adaptive learning, formative assessment, and scoring feedback po. Next po, 6 logical steps to create an assessment. First po, defining your purpose po. And then, setting up your question plan, creating your assessment framework, creating your personalized report, choosing the right assessment tool, making your assessment available. 9 ways to assess student learning online. Ito po, first po yung online quizzes, a traditional student assessment tool, and when paired with technology, they are an excellent way to track the student performance. Next po yung open-ended o yung tinatawag po nilang essay question. One of the most popular online assessment, evaluating higher level of learning. Then drag and drop activities, assess a learner ability to link information and apply knowledge to solve a practical problem. Then online interviews, you can incorporate a video conference in your online teaching to give the learning process a more personal touch. Then dialogue simulation is a way to prepare learners to real-life conversation with customer, colleagues, or others. Online polls allow you to capture instant feedback directly from your audience about their learning experience. And then game type activities po. Turn a series of test question into a game. Then peer evaluation and review. Turns a table to put learners in the instructional seat and allow students to review and edit each. Then po yung last po, yung forum post is an excellent way to gauge students' understanding, pique their interest and support in their learning. Ito po yung mga example lang po ng online assessment tool for distant learning. Katulad po ng iSpring Suite, Socrative, Google Forms. Dito rin po pumapasok ang Classing, Classroom, Google Meet, yung mga ganun po. Then po next po is what is rubrics? A rubric is a type of scoring and guide that assess and articulates specific components and expectation for an assignment. Rubrics can be used for a variety of assignment, research paper, group project, portfolios, and presentation. A rubric is a great tool for teachers because it is a simple way to set up a grading criteria for assignment. Pero syempre hindi lang po sa teacher na useful ang rubrics. Nakakatulong din po ito sa mga estudyante. A rubric defines in writing what is expected of the student to get a particular grade on an assignment. Bakit po yung mga teacher gumagamit ng rubrics? Ito po. Assess assignment consistently from student to student. Save time in grading, both short and long term. Give timely, effective feedback, and promote student learning in sustainable way. Then clarify expectation and components of an assignment for both student and course teachers, teaching assistant, and refine teaching methods by evaluating rubrics results po. Then, rubrics help student understand and expectation and components of an assignment, become more aware of their learning process and progress, improve work through timely and detailed feedback. Ito po yung mga step ng pagdidevelop po ng rubrics. First po, review the learning objectives. Then, list po ng performance criteria. The third one, describe po yung level of quality for each criterion. Then, yun po, pag-develop ng grid. Ginagawa po ito sa Excel. Pwede po siyang gawin sa Excel. Then, add a descriptor or numerical score to each performance level. Practice using the rubrics. Share the rubric with student. Assess student work. Revise the rubrics. Review learning objectives. I-identify mo po yung what you want student to do or accomplish as learning outcomes. Kung ano po yung gusto mong matutunan po ng estudyante sa lesson po nyo. Then, list of performance criteria. Develop a list of criteria that reflect the learning objectives and describe the task, behavior, element that students are expected to demonstrate in their products or performance. Describe the levels quality for each criterion. Describe the best and worst level of quality of each. So, dito po malalaman po yung kung estudyante po ba pinaka the best, worst, or nasa gitna lang po siya. Yung performance level po niya. Then, develop a grid. Use a grid format with columns and row, listing objectives or expected performance in the first column and description of various level and performance in the next column. Ito po na ipo-format po siya sa Excel. Nakakapaglagay na rin po doon ng mga format, mga yung mga format na po siya doon, pwede mo nang ilagay yung mga formula na gusto nyo po doon sa grid na yun. Then, add a descriptor and numerical score to each performance level. Use a descriptive word to identify each performance level, such as beginning, developing, accomplished, exemplary. There are numbers of rating scale to utilize. If you want to score grade the student work, add a number of rating to each level. So, pwede po, dun sa Excel po, i-add nyo lang po yung mga gusto nyo pong makita sa performance po ng mga estudyante kung paano nyo po siya ipo-format. Then, practice using the rubric. Before using, formally verify the rubrics by using it to evaluate previous student work. Share the rubric with student before student begin the assignment activity that will be assessed. Share the rubric with them to clarify what is expected in their work. Consider involving student and developing or evaluating a rubric. Assessment student work. Use the rubric to guide your assessing how well student perform or their level of mastery in doing the learning activity or assignment. Then last po yung revise the rubric. Keep track of the strength and weaknesses of the rubric as you see it to the assessment student work. Revise to build in detailed and improve communication. Example of different rubrics po. Single point rubric, sometimes simple is the easiest. A single point rubric can tell student whether they meet the expectation or criteria or not. Ito po. As you can see sa picture po, ganito po yung sample po ng single rubric po. Pwede sasabihin nyo lang po yes or no. Yun lang po yung pwede nyo maging score po ng estudyante. Then po may mga required na ilang words po, ilang points po yung bibigay nyo para doon. Gaano po sila kagaling. So, readings and anything po yan. Then yung specific task rubric po, this style of rubric is useful for articulating the knowledge and skill objectives and their respective levels of specific assignment. Ito po yung example po ng specific task rubric. Halimbawa po, master designer, proficient designer, yan po, 20 points, 15 points, 10 points, and 5 points. Kaya po kung paano nyo po i-grade po yung nagawa po ng estudyante or performance po nila sa isang assignment. Then, holistic rubric po, this style of rubric enables a single overall assessment evaluation of learners' performance on a task. Pwedeng excellent, good, growing, yung po, pair, mga ganyan po yung pwedeng score. Then, general rubric, this style of rubric can be used for multiple similar assignment to show growth, achievement, opportunities over time. Ito po yung example po ng general rubric. Then, analytic rubric po, this style rubric is well suited for breaking apart of complex tasks into component skills and allows for evaluation of those components. It can also help determine the grade of the full assignment based on the performance on the component skill. This style of rubric can look similar to general rubrics but includes detailed grading information. Yan po. Yan po. That's my report po. Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Doc po.
Okay.
Here
Yes.
po.
Okay. So, as our presenter mentioned, no, rubrics are indispensable tools for evaluating online assessment, no, offering a structure and transparent scoring system. So, a rubric breaks down the criteria for assessment into clear, no, descriptive levels of achievement, helping students understand what is expected, no, expected of them No, let's say for example, because a rubric for a writing assignment may include criteria like coherence, grammar, creativity, and relevance, no, to the topic, each with varying levels of performance indicators. Because rubric benefit educator and the students alike by promoting consistent grading and reducing subjectivity, especially in assessment requiring qualitative judgment. They also help students self-assess and aim for clear targets in their work. Developing rubrics involves careful consideration of its criterion and how it aligns with the learning objectives. Each level of achievement should be defined clearly to avoid ambiguity, providing specific descriptors that distinguish different levels of performance. When students understand the grading rubric, they are more likely, no, to focus on specific goals and improve the quality of their work. No, rubrics serve as feedback tools, giving students insights into their strength and areas for improvement. And this ongoing feedback loop can foster continuous learning and innovation. Again, effective online assessment and rubric development require regular review and improvement. As educators should analyze the effectiveness of assessment uh, or analyze the effective of assessments, no, and the rubric after its use, gathering feedback from students and reflecting on performance outcomes, no. Adjustment might be necessary, no, to enhance clarity, align better, no, with objectives or accommodate changing learning standards. In an evolving digital education landscape, continuous refinement of assessment and rubrics ensures they remain relevant, fair, and effective in promoting student learning and achievement. Kasi right now, especially in World City Colleges, we had uh, face-to-face, meron tayong online discussions or online class. So, dapat yung rubrics natin talagang tumatama sa kung ano yung ating ina-assess sa student. Okay?